A history of Microsoft. Microsoft is a technology company that is well known for its Office suite programs, such as Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, and some of its popular devices, like the Surface laptops, Surface Pro tablets, or Xbox gaming consoles. Now, let's take a journey through the company's history. The 1970s. The era that brought you movies like Taxi Driver, a psychological thriller about a loner taxi driver that seeks to clean the dirty streets of New York through vigilantism. Rocky, an inspiring story of the everyman boxer that struggles to fight the undefeated world heavyweight champion. And Star Wars: A New Hope, a story of three different hero archetypes that fight the evil empire for the fate of the galaxy. Let's talk about some of the popular songs. Don McLean, American Pie, Elton John, Rocket Man. It was an era distrustful of societal changes, yet still hopeful for what the future could bring. Childhood friends, Bill Gates and Paul Allen. Not the Paul Allen with the impeccable business cards. This one. Anyways, they sought to make a business using their skills in computer programming. In the January 1975 issue of Popular Electronics, featured Micro-Instrumentation and Telemetry Systems, MITS, Altair 8800 microcomputer, which inspired Allen to suggest that they could program a basic interpreter for the device. Gates called MITS and claimed that they had a working interpreter, but MITS requested a demonstration. Allen worked on a simulator for the Altair, while Gates developed the interpreter. In March 1975, in Albuquerque, New Mexico, Gates and Allen demonstrated their interpreter to MITS, and it worked without any flaws. MITS agreed to distribute it, marketing it as Altair Basic, and on April 4th, 1975, Microsoft was born. Allen suggested the name Microsoft, short for microcomputer software. Gates would be CEO and Allen would be chief technologist. And during the next few years, they refined BASIC and developed other programming languages. In January of 1979, Microsoft moved its headquarters to Bellevue, Washington. The 1980s. The era that brought us movies like Blade Runner, a movie set in a dystopian future where the hero hunts down replicant killer robots. The Terminator, an action movie that begins in a dystopian future where the humans are losing the war to killer robots. RoboCop, an action movie set in a dystopian future where an evil corporation owns the police force, and they turn the hero into a killer robot. When you're done watching each movie, you realize the future's dystopian and ruled by robots. Do not resist. Back to Microsoft. In 1980, International Business Machines Corporation, IBM, asked Microsoft to produce essential software or operating system for its first personal computer, the IBM PC. Microsoft purchased an operating system from another company, modified it, and renamed it MS-DOS, Microsoft Disk Operating System. By the end of 1980, Microsoft reached $8 million in sales. MS-DOS was released with the IBM PC in 1981. In 1983, Microsoft introduces the Microsoft Mouse, a low-cost, handheld pointing device for use with the IBM PC. Also, the Microsoft Word program was released, which allowed users to create, save, and print text documents. This would usher in the end of the typewriter. In 1986, Microsoft went public and offered shares on the U.S. Stock Exchange. They also moved their headquarters from Bellevue, Washington to Redmond, Washington. By the end of 1989, Microsoft had an estimated $800 million in sales, and it was still growing. The 1990s. Oh yeah, you know what decade it is. It's the 90s. With the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You go, Will. With movies like The Truman Show, where the main character is trapped in a reality TV as the world watches on, and he doesn't realize it. All of the people in his life are paid actors to keep his false reality going. The Matrix, a dystopian future where humans are plugged into machines their whole lives. And let me not do that to the 90s. Back to the Fresh Prince. West Philadelphia, born and raised. Will, you so crazy. Now back to the video. In 1990, British computer scientist Tim Berners-Lee created the first web server and graphical web browser while working at CERN, the European Organization for Nuclear Research. He called his new window into the internet World Wide Web. Also, in 1990, Microsoft donated $100,000 to the Smithsonian Institution for a new exhibit to be called The Information Age, People, Information, and Technology. A special section was devoted to the evolution of personal computers into current information technology. And here you find a fascinating interview.
The most important question is not what computers are going to be like in the future, but what will we be like? What will people be like?
Now that was foretelling. Moving on. In 1990, Microsoft exceeded $1 billion in sales. In 1995, Windows 95 was released. This was Microsoft's most important product launch to date, as it was the first time that MS-DOS and Windows environments could be run on the same machine. It also introduced new features like the Smart Menu and Taskbar. Also, in 95, Windows released Windows Explorer, which was its own internet browser to compete with Netscape. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, between 1990 and 1997, the percentage of households owning computers increased from 15% to 35%. More Americans now own computers than ever. In 1997, Microsoft purchased Hotmail, the free email service. In 1999, Bill Gates was the richest man on earth for the third year running, according to Forbes. A combination of the company's success and soaring stock price has led to an increase in his total net worth from $51 billion to $90 billion over the course of a year. The 2000s, the decade that brought us blockbuster movies like Pirates of the Caribbean and Spider-Man. Uncle Ben, no. Music videos like Nelly's Country Grammar, Outkast's Miss Jackson, and Dr. Dre and Eminem's Forgot About Dre. Stop the show. Don't you ever let a day go by where you forget about Dre. Ever. Now back to the video. In February of 2000, Windows released Windows 2000 for retail. Windows 2000 introduced updated versions of Internet Explorer 5, Outlook Express 5.01, and built-in Windows Media Player, so you can play music and videos. In 2001, Microsoft decided to compete in the gaming console wars by releasing the Xbox, which was surprisingly successful. The system sold an estimated 1.5 million units by the end of 2001. In 2005, Microsoft released Xbox 360, and by the end of the first year, sold an estimated 5 million units. In 2009, Microsoft launched Bing, a search engine. According to Wikipedia, the Bing name was chosen through a focus group, and Microsoft decided that the name was memorable, short, and easy to spell. The word would remind people of the sound made during the moment of discovery in decision-making. The 2010s, a decade where young adult movie trilogies tried to warn us of possible apocalyptic futures, like Divergent, a dystopian world in which society is divided into 5 factions. Each teenager must choose a faction to be a part of. Meanwhile, one of the factions is plotting to control them all. Maze Runner, a dystopian future where teenagers are trapped in the center of a maze, where an evil corporation monitors them all. And The Hunger Games, a dystopian future in which the government forces each district to select a teenager to fight to the death on national television, while the government monitors them all. Each movie has a powerful corporate government that seems to live off the blood of teenagers. Back to Microsoft. In 2010, Microsoft launched Azure, is a cloud computing platform which provides analytics, storage, and networking services through global data centers. In November of 2011, Microsoft released the Lumia phone to compete with Apple's iPhone. The Lumia phone came through a long-term partnership with Nokia. The phone ran on Microsoft software and Windows operating system. In 2013, Microsoft launched the Surface Pro, a Surface hybrid with a detachable keyboard. It's the first device in the Surface family to feature a stylus pen. Also in 2013, Office 365 was introduced with subscription options for Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Of 2016, Microsoft acquired LinkedIn, a social media site geared for professional connections, for $26 billion. In 2017, Microsoft released the Teams application as a competitor to Slack. The Teams app is a chat-based platform in video conferencing which allows users to collaborate on files like Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. The 2020s. Aha, the 20s. I remember those days of prohibition so well. Not the drinking kind of prohibition. No, the breathing kind. Where you needed a mask everywhere you went. Going to the store? Put that mask on. Going outside for some fresh air? Mask. Having a Zoom meeting in your own home? You better have that mask on. Anyways, I digress. In Microsoft's 2020 annual report to shareholders, there was a section called Data and AI, or Artificial Intelligence, in which the company outlines its push into AI. As described, and we are pushing the bounds of how AI can generalize learning beyond narrow domains, collaborating with OpenAI on a supercomputing platform to train and run AI models of unprecedented scale. Their new GPT-3 model was trained on our Azure AI supercomputer. In 2021, Microsoft released Windows 11. Also, Microsoft acquired Clipchamp, an online video editing tool that allows creators to create and edit videos. This app was added onto Windows 11 in 2022. As of 2023, Microsoft is putting a lot of resources into the AI race. The Bing search engine now has a chat feature, which allows you to ask it anything, and it will respond with the AI. And with this AI initiative, Microsoft is yet again pushing itself into the future. Also, as of 2023, Microsoft is worth $2.4 trillion. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you would like to experience more content, please like and subscribe. Until next time.